as Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes! I'm excited for this. New Rockstars, Thor 4, Guardians of the Galaxy crossover confirmed. Bale villain theory. I don't want to say too much right now, but someone might be going on new Rockstars Rogue Theory channel at some point very, very soon. Let's watch this.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and Thor Love and Thunder, or as I like to call it, Thor 4, Gore War for more core, just dropped some major plot details. The Guardians of the Galaxy are confirmed to be crossing over with Thor in this next film, which is all painting a very interesting picture combined with the details about Christian Bale confirmed as the Thor villain. While this may not be officially called the As Guardians of the Galaxy, the hype remains real. And now I'm gonna break down all the new things we now know about Thor 4, spoiler warning in case you suck. And thanks to privacy.com for sponsoring this episode. If you sign up now at privacy.com/newrockstars, you can get $5 today to use on any purchase online. Recently, Vin Diesel pulled over from living his life a quarter mile at a time to talk about doing the voice of Groot in the Marvel films and dropped this interesting gem about the Guardians of the Galaxy appearing in the next Thor film.
Thor will also, the director talked to me about how Thor will incorporate some of the Guardians of the Galaxy, which would be very interesting. Nobody knows, so maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
What the hell?
There's a bone.
New Tom
It's all about family to you. This reveal confirms the always intended plan after Avengers Endgame, which ended with Thor joining the Guardians of the Galaxy and humorously feuding with Peter Quill over who is the captain now. Originally, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was going to come out before Thor 4, probably an intended release date of May 2020 when Black Widow is now coming out, but then all that dumb drama in summer 2018 led to director James Gunn being temporarily fired from Guardians 3,
what the
delaying
hell is
that
he
film,
talking
and
about?
even worse, delaying nerdy YouTube channels from having more to break down than hashtags actors accidentally leave in their Instagram posts. After Endgame came out, Gunn broke his social media silence to confirm that Guardians 3 would not be titled as Guardians of the Galaxy,
Rightfully
but that
so.
doesn't rule out a crossover. And when Marvel announced its Phase 4 lineup shortly after, Guardians Volume 3 was nowhere in sight, delayed to 2022 or beyond, sometime after James Gunn wraps his Suicide Squad sequel for DC coming August 2021. But one exciting mystery lingering on that Phase 4 horizon was Thor 4, titled Thor Love and Thunder, with the now Oscar-winning Taika Waititi returning to write and direct. Waititi cited the Jason Aaron comic storyline The Mighty Thor, which leads to Jane Foster wielding Mjolnir as Lady Thor, suffering from cancer, powering up in Thor mode, but then reverting and resetting her chemo. It's some real shit. Christian Bale was announced to be playing a supporting role, later reported to be alien and otherworldly, and recently, Valkyrie actor Tessa Thompson straight up revealed that Bale would be playing the movie's villain.
Some familiar faces, some new people into the mix. Christian Bale is going to play our villain, which is going to be fantastic.
And
You guys gotta
Tessa Thompson, you must watch your phrasing around us nerds. Christian Bale as an alien, otherworldly villain in a plot inspired by the Jason Aaron comic run. Yeah, we're almost certainly guess whoing him down to Gore the God Butcher from Jason Aaron's God of Thunder and Original Sin storylines. They precede the Mighty Thor. Gore swore to rid the universe of all deities after these false gods abandoned his family in their time of need. Years later, the mere thought of Gore being right causes Thor to drop the hammer and walk away, leading to Jane Foster later picking it up. Some have also been pushing for Bale to be cast as Beta Ray Bill, but as we saw from that Sakaar statue of Bill, he's a Corbinite with a horse face, and you do not cast a face as iconic as Christian Bale's for his voice alone.
I want you off the set, you prick!
Yeah, you see what I mean? But Vin Diesel confirming a Thor Guardians crossover opens up other options for Bale's villain and the way Love and Thunder's story could go. Look, keeping up with content these days is tough, because now we have to get it all from these subscription services. I don't know about you, but rather than stay subscribed to like 10 things at all times, I need to only pay for the content I'm actually consuming at any given moment. And the trick is managing the credit card numbers that you give these folks so you can turn it off and turn it back on whenever you need it. Well, thanks to privacy.com for sponsoring this video. Privacy lets you make online purchases using virtual burner cards for each kind of purchase instead of your real card for everything. This protects your identity and bank information on the internet, and it lets you control the limits on each virtual card. So for example, I've set up an account with Privacy, I've linked my bank account, and I created a card specifically for my monthly Netflix subscription payment. Privacy will ding you with lightning fast precision if someone tries to charge the card twice, or if the charge exceeds the amount you set for it. Ha, nice try, Netflix. I already finished, I am not okay with this, and the only coin I will toss is for more Witcher. No vendor can overcharge beyond the limit that you set for it. It's simple, it's fast, it's really just one click. They also offer these different plans. There's a free one that lets you create up to 12 cards a month, but also a pro plan where you can get 36 cards a month and 1% cash back on purchases, and a Teams plan for small businesses. There's a Privacy Chrome extension where you can fill out all of your card info to save time. Just one click and all your details are instantly entered. Head to
Awesome.
privacy.com/newrockstars and sign up for an account. As a special treat for my viewers, new customers will automatically get $5 to spend on your first purchase for a limited time
cool.
only. Yeah, folks, that's free money.
cool.
Just go to privacy.com/newrockstars and sign up now. Vin Diesel's exact words were some of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So to me, that sounds like less of a full team crossover
definitely
like Infinity War
Mantis.
than an assortment of some of the characters associated with the Guardians side of the galaxy and some loose ends from the Guardians films tying into the Love and Thunder plot. One of those loose ends could be Adam Warlock, the genetically perfect space Jesus cocooned by Aisha to seek revenge against the Guardians. Adam would also fit the bill of an alien, otherworldly villain to all these characters. Before his Batman days, Bale played the smooth-skinned perfectionist Patrick Bateman in American Psycho. Paint him gold and you got yourself a space Jesus. But another connection between the Thor and the Guardians corner to the cosmos are the Elders of the Universe. Benicio del Toro as the Collector, Tanelier Tivan, and Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster, Ndwi Gast. Both Elders are in rough shape after some recent events. The Collector was a Reality Stone projection in Infinity War, but, might be dead or bubbles or something. And the Grandmaster was at the mercies of the Sicarian trash folk, so perhaps Bale could swoop to their aid as their brother. The Elder of the Universe, Tricros Lazarus, champion of the universe. He's a master of unarmed combat and seeks new opportunities to defeat the greatest fighters from across the galaxy. So just imagine Bale screaming himself hoarse as he calls out Fat Thor for a challenge and forces the God of Thunder to get back into shape.
Shake, man,
Will they
you're
be
amateur.
fat?
You're unbelievable, man. You're unbelievable. Number of times you're strolling around in the background.
But which other Guardians of the Galaxy are the some that Diesel referred to? Well, obviously Groot, he was in that conversation, and Diesel had an interesting description for Groot's new form.
I only have 2 words about that character, and it is Alpha Groot.
So by Alpha Groot, he could be referring to King Groot, an alternate reality warlord version of Groot who never met Rocket or joined the Guardians. It could also mean the inclusion of Groot's home society, the Flora Colossi from Planet X, who are ruled over by the Arbor Masters. Or maybe Diesel's just reminding The Rock that he's always the Alpha. But too many of the Guardians in the story gets a bit crowded. By familiar faces, I think Tessa Thompson was referring to cameos by Groot and maybe Rocket, while the main story of Love and Thunder will remain centered around Thor, Valkyrie, and Jane as the new Mjolnir wielder after Bale arrives as a villain who rattles Thor to his core, but not before the war for more Korg.
Damn.
Which Guardians do you want to cameo in Thor 4? Be sure to join our official Discord server where we theorize on all this stuff with our inner circle of supporters. Access our Discord by becoming a patron of New Rockstars today at patreon.com/newrockstars.
I think Star-Lord should be in it.
Comment down below with your thoughts. Follow me at EA Voss, follow New Rockstars, and subscribe to New Rockstars for everything Marvel. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Great video. I loved the information. I am so fascinated to see Christian Bale working under the direction of Taika Waititi, because Taika is very loose on set, according to everyone who's ever worked with him. Allows a lot of improv, a whole lot of comedy going on in front of the camera, behind the camera, and Christian Bale is so intense. He is known to constantly stay in character, if not in character, at least the voice. Like, he's talked about this plenty of times, especially during promos for 4v Ferrari. He's aware he's making a movie. Like he would always say as Ken Miles, he stays in character, but if he was really just under the delusion that he was only Ken Miles, he'd probably drive off set. I wonder how Taika Waititi would work with Christian Bale under the type of method acting that Bale specifically goes for. I'm just fascinated to see what it is, because I know there was a joke, you don't want to cover Christian Bale's face. I still feel like Christian Bale would be down for something like that, honestly, to get really lost in the makeup and cover him up, as long as the audience still knows that's Christian Bale doing the character. I think this could bring a certain level of weight to the role, but it would also be really cool to see Christian Bale just really let loose, you know? Like, one thing I've always joked about is seeing like a Daniel Day-Lewis in a Farrelly Brothers movie, because you just can't imagine that ever happening. So I would love to see Christian Bale really give into a comedy full-heartedly, maybe not taking himself as serious as he usually does.
I really got excited and curious when I heard the casting information, just because, yeah, this does seem like a strange place for him to show up. The casting for these movies has changed a lot over the years. We get the A-listers now, we get caliber actors, and yet Christian Bale was still of an ilk that I kind of didn't expect to see in a comic book movie. movie, let alone a Marvel movie very soon. I have to imagine that either he was drawn by the opportunity to do something new in this arena, or perhaps also, the opportunity to jump in and maybe do some mocap or something like that, especially after guys like, obviously, Andy Serkis, but Josh Brolin have really, like, transcended that to the point where, you can tell who's giving the performance as well as all the effects and stuff like that. Generally, the Gore character sounded the most interesting in terms of acting chops, because, if you've got this personal background of, like, the gods didn't help when my family perished. If Christian Bale's gonna be a villain in any one of these movies, he's gotta be a more Killmonger-esque villain who has a relatable or a rich story too, and not just a good actor to dress up, the regular kind of villain stuff. And that's my, like, concern, if anything.
I think if you get Christian Bale as the villain, you can get someone who's very threatening. Taika Waititi just won for Jojo Rabbit for Best Screenplay. I don't agree with the assertion that Thor Ragnarok is only a comedy. I think it is absolutely visually dazzling. There are straight up shots that just look like paintings. It's gorgeous. I think there is dramatic heft, but I think the main takeaway that people often have with it is purely comedy. And I don't want this next Thor to lose the comedy, but I think it would be cool to add a little bit more of that additional nuance to it, especially if they are borrowing from the comics with Jane Foster struggling with cancer. There are some themes here that I think you can really delve with. Taika Waititi has obviously proven he can deal with heavier subjects if needed. There's been things that Thor has had to deal with, and I could see this villain lining up. The loss of Asgard and Thor Ragnarok, and Endgame, you see him, as fat Thor dealing with his alcoholism. And then at the end of the movie, he hands off Asgard to Valkyrie. What they were referencing here in this new Rockstars video is pulling from the comics. I can see them not maybe doing exactly that, but something akin to it as well. And I have they confirmed whether or not he's still gonna be Fat Thor? Because if
I don't think so.
I wonder, it'd be interesting.
See it, but I can also see it going back.
I wouldn't mind it being Fat Thor, especially under Taika Waititi's direction. I think they could really have a lot of fun with that. Some people did have the complaint that they thought it was a overdone joke. I didn't see it as solely a joke. Like, it was really funny, but it wasn't only a joke. Maybe they can meet a middle ground where he's still, like, losing weight. Maybe he's not, like, super obese still.
Running joke.
yeah, where throughout the movie he's losing weight. That does excite me. And as far as the Guardians of the Galaxy, it's weird because I have been saying constantly that for the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I don't think Thor should be in it. That's been a big topic of discussion, so I'm glad James Gunn verified that he won't be in it. James Gunn has had a solid trilogy in mind, from my understanding. He's always had a 3-part trilogy in mind. He should get the opportunity to complete his story, and I don't think Thor was ever a part of that story. On the flip side, though, Guardians appearing in a Thor movie is a different conversation. The association of James Gunn to Guardians of the Galaxy is so specific in terms of the Guardians of the Galaxy solo films. But Thor this is like Taika Waititi's the third director to take on this franchise. It's constantly, it's shifted directions a couple times now, and it doesn't seem like Thor 4 is supposed to be like, this completes the solo Thor journey. That I feel like having a few Guardians in it wouldn't hurt the film at all, and it would be fun.
Yeah, and they wouldn't overtake Thor. I feel like having Thor truly be a massive part of a Guardians movie might overshadow the Guardians themselves, because he is one of the OG MCU Avengers. And yeah, having more characters now that we're on the 4th Thor movie as opposed to the next Guardians being number 3, we're so much more used to more and more characters mixing in and out of that world. Thor can travel through realms and through time and space. That's where it makes a lot of sense to put some of the Guardians in anyway, whoever besides Groot ends up there. To introduce a new iteration of Groot in that movie, in a Thor 4, it might be just a neat little side thing too.
That's like the way how Thor Ragnarok took advantage of showing a different side of Hulk. Maybe they can do something like that here in Thor 4 with a different side of Groot that we haven't seen yet. So I'm excited for this, man. I mean, Thor Love and Thunder, hearing Taika's back, I'm excited for the Jane Foster Lady Thor version as well. All right, guys, well, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to New Rockstars. You can subscribe to The Real Rejects. Please click that notification bell to get notified whenever we got a YouTube video up. Last but not least, I'll send this with a picture.
Michael B., come along with me through the valleys, down the hills, and up to the trees, Mr. Omni. One Media. Just kidding. But seriously, a lot of people do trip over that one, man. Did you anticipate that when you picked the name, or do you kind of kick yourself now? Either way, never change. Because Michael B. got so much to say, got so many thoughts in his creative little brain. Not to say that your brain is little. I mean, try to come up with a song on the spot.
while you're exercising and losing light. It's a skill I'm gonna have to hone. But anyway, Michael, man, appreciate all your love and support. Keep killing the game over on your channel, and we will catch you on the next video. Woo!